Good afternoon, everybody. What is going on? We are live at Studio 10-4 Live Weekly Update. John here with you in studio. Got a lot of people waiting in the queue here, or the green room as we call it, to come aboard and join us. Hope you guys are ready to be a part of the show. I posted up the link. It is in here. If you see this is the live link. Underneath that is the StreamYard.com link. You can copy that link, paste it in your browser, and it should just click. When you click on it, you should be able to come on over. I'll see you in our green room queue, and if I have room in the show, we can only bring so many in on the platform. I will bring you in and click you in, and you can have a chance to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and tell us what's going on with you. So got a lot of great stuff that we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about things that went on in 2022. Good, not so good. We're going to be talking about 2023 as well, and the great things that are coming ahead for us in the upcoming year. And there's a lot of good stuff coming in. Everybody that's tuning in so far, glad to see you guys. CG Souza in there, Kyle Nelson. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you as well. Pete Henderson, of course, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. Without wasting any further time, again, one more time, I'll tell you, the link is there. It's posted on all of the stream platforms that we are using, that we're sending out our signal to. All you need to do is click on that, and you should be able to get on over here and get in the queue, and I will bring you up if we have room. First up, let's bring Dan and Shan and Jean and Stephanie and Eric and Dennis in the mix. Hey guys, what's going on?
Good evening.
Hi.
First, why don't we start off? I know everybody probably knows who everybody is, but Dan, Shan, why don't we start with you? And if you're, rotating in the view that I have, it's Dan, Jean, Dennis, Eric, and Stephanie. Tell us who you are and where you're at.
I'm Dan. That's Shan. We are in 10-4 headquarters here in Central California, in our living room.
Right on. Good to have you on board, of course. And Dan, of course, the integral part and has been co-founder, co-creator of 10-4 Magazine. Been around since the beginning. He and Eric Sieben back in the day. A story that could be told in a whole show, probably, and has been, I might add, too. So, but definitely bears worth bearing and bringing back again sometime. And Shan, of course, is our office administrator. Pays all the bills and collects all the money if you're sending in your bills on time, like you should be, and being a good 10-4 advertiser. That way she can take care of paying all the bills that we got. And, yes, of course, show support. You always see Shan smiling at the shows and trying to persuade you to buy a really nice 10-4 t-shirt, hat, or otherwise some other kind of cool swag. Jean, tell us who you are, where you're at.
Hi, I'm Jean, and I'm in Huntington Beach, California. I used to be a big part of 10-4, but now I'm trying to retire. And it's going well. Thank you.
We lovingly recognize Jean as 98% retired, and the rest of it is she's HR, lovingly referred to as the HR department, to keep us all politically correct. And how that's working, I have no idea, but golly, I'm willing to try. Dennis, go on, tell us what's up. Dennis, you with me?
Oh, I am now. I was coming in broken
deal.
there. I'm just hanging out here at Aunt Barb's Cafe. The waitress is definitely on duty, and
awesome.
We're just home for the holidays, doing a little bit of truck repair, waiting for the freight to get rolling again, and then we'll be back to work.
Awesome. In case you guys don't know, Dennis Mitchell is a contributor to 10-4 Magazine, regular contributor every month, and always got a great story to tell, veterans. So thank you for your service, Dennis. I see the Marine insignia up there above you, behind you. So we appreciate that. And kind of just to backtrack a little bit, those of you that now think you might know Jean, just to give you kind of a background too. Jean was there in the beginning, co-founder with Mr. Eric Hill, of course, and part of the things at the beginning and throughout the years. A staple at the show with Shan and Dan and Eric. They were the foursome that really were the force behind 10-4 Magazine, that built this magazine. and the platform we are today, Studio 1045, Trucking for Kids. I mean, this is all part of what the four of them cultivated, grew, and has flourished over the years to be 10-4 Magazine and the other associated parts of it now. So, Gene, thanks for always being there and being a great support to us.
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Eric Hill. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Gene.
I said, you're welcome.
Thank you. Mr. Eric Hill, who the heck are you? And I'm going to bring Frank Strohmeyer in here. There he is, Mr. Eric
Hey,
Hill.
Frank.
Hey, everybody, how you doing?
Cheers, buddy. Late to the party, but glad you're here.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Tell us about Eric. Eric Hill, what do you do, Eric, and where are you?
Well, before I get talking about me, I want to make one minor correction, John.
Yes, sir.
Gene and Eric Hill, and it was actually Gene and Eric Sieben. So, I was
And Eric with a K, not with a C. What the hell? I don't know. Gene, you didn't say anything, so she didn't. I don't think she cared. She thought maybe she got an upgrade. I don't know.
That'd be fine with me.
I just let it slide.
That was long before I knew 10-4 Magazine.
Just let it roll. So
Yeah,
I said Eric
exactly.
Hill. Yeah, well, I was looking at you, Eric. What can I tell you, man? It's it's an association thing. Yeah,
Well,
no
I'm
Eric Hill,
surprised I
Eric
haven't-
Steven.
I'm surprised I haven't broken the equipment yet. But anyway, I'm Eric Hill. I'm the marketing print sales manager, and I live in Central Illinois. And I believe, I thought this weekend Central Illinois was the coldest place in the U.S., but I think it was a little bit colder in Dennis's part of the country. So it's 45 degrees today, and I thought we were in spring, and that makes no sense at all to me. But anyway, glad to be here tonight.
Glad to have you. Hey, I want to also mention to you guys, everybody that's tuning in, Miss Flatbed Red in the house, Jessica Neiman, Cody Davis. What is going on? And Cody's watching tonight. He's at home. He's not out on the road, so he gets to watch, not just listen. Aunt Barb's in the house. Brandon Carpenter, good to have you on there, buddy. And I can't see because my alert just covered up who was on the bottom. And I think we have a new Heidi Benjamin. Heidi, thank you for tuning in. At the top, if you guys scroll to the top of comments, you'll see the link in there. If you would like to get on camera, if you would like to join the show, we'd love to have you. So click on the link and let's bring you on in and get the live view from you. We'd appreciate it, and I think it'd be fun. Cody, love to have you on the show, buddy. See if you can work it out. Up next, Stephanie. What is the diesel addict? Who is she? Where's she at?
Down south of Vidalia, Georgia. Decent temperatures down here currently. Monthly contributor to 10-4.
Yes. You got a hair comment. Look at that. Already on the hair. Daniel Lee Anderson's. So
Daniel?
if there's any inside jokes on stuff, you got to fill us in so we can all
No,
enjoy
there's
it.
no
Okay?
inside jokes. Just him being humorous.
Okay, all right. Good enough. Sean Rowe just jammed in. Hey, Jamie Williams in the house. What's going on? Hello, Jamie, and Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to you, buddy. Cheers. Adult beverages are encouraged. Now, Stephanie's been around since about 2016, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yep.
And part of the team 10-4 Brain Trust, and helps with many assets and many parts of the 10-4 machine. So all the stuff this year that you saw picture-wise that came from TFK was from Miss Stephanie. She went around, took all the pictures because Mr. Dan Lenz was truck show owner and had to go out and actually be truck show guy. So I don't even think his camera came out of the case. He was relying heavily on Stephanie to make it happen, and she did a good job for us. So appreciate that, Stephanie. Randy Minkle, how are you, buddy? Good to have you, and nice to always have Randy on the show. Mr. Frank Strohmeyer, tell us who you are and where you're at, buddy.
Yes, again, Frank Strohmeyer,
You got any?
contributor to the magazine, and I am in Boston Heights, Ohio, which is just south of Cleveland and just north of Akron.
Right on.
And rocking a great beard, I might say.
Yes, thank you. I think Dennis is a lot better, though.
Dennis is making a comeback.
Yes.
Dennis is
Starting
doing
to
a
look
good job.
recognizable
What's that?
again.
His dog in the background.
I don't have any volume here.
We hear you.
Hey, Frank, we'll let you know if the dog lifts its leg. Oh my God, what the hell is he doing? What's he doing to the pillow, man?
She's trying to get a nice spot in the couch.
And here I thought we would have the animal antics.
Yeah. Dan and Shan have been upstaged by Strohmeyer, so yeah.
Night is young.
Way to go. Yeah, the night's young. So we're definitely encouraging some adult libations. If you have them, get them and bring them and enjoy while we do the same. It's a little Christmas cheer to spread around. We did this last year a little bit and thought it was so much fun. We do it again, but we waited and brought it back around for our Christmas and year-end wrap. So let's get into the bulk and meat of the show. Let's talk about it. 2022, I want to go to Dan and Shan and get their take on highlights, lowlights. What was something that stood out to you in the year and it could be anything we did, TFK, Matt's, whatever it is. If you want to just kind of keep it, kind of close to what we're planning on talking about. If that fits in there, let's hear about it. But tell us. I can imagine TFK was probably a big one, and there's others as well. So. What do you think, Dan?
It was a big year. We did a lot. We have a lot of people in play now, a much bigger organization than we used to. So that's fun. And we went to a lot of shows. There were a lot of shows. Of course, we had our own show. That was insane, being our first time. I think that we got through it pretty well.
Sure, that one.
Thanks to a lot of great help. Thank you. Right. We could talk more about that when we talk about that, but
sure.
I think that fuel prices and inflation darn near tanked the year, but for everybody. But hopefully that is easing, and still seems like the economy's going pretty good, so that's good. So I'm looking forward to 2023. I think we're already getting ready for stuff, and the end of the year is ending well, and going to start new and good, and I'm excited about that.
Well, what I like about this is that we've got a lot of people to select from, of course, and our eyes and ears, across the country with Stephanie out there and Eric, Frank, Dennis, for that matter. I mean, you guys are all over the place. Stephanie, what was a standout show for you that really kind of brought it home for you this year?
This year's been a blur.
I can believe it.
I feel the same way.
I don't know. I mean, I had fun at TFK. That's the first time I was able to help at the show. It was a one-day show. After that, it was like everything picked up and everything was a blur. I mean, it was, go, go, go the entire time. But I mean, I busted knuckle, always a good time.
Somebody send that boy a koozie.
I know. Stephanie, you also went to the Utah show.
You should get Bubba and Jamie to come in here.
Bubba, I'd love to have you, buddy. I'm going to post the link again, and it'll be right there in the comments. You guys, all you have to do is click on it and come on in. Dennis says that he is all messed up. He's got no volume, huh? Dennis, I would suggest shut down, reboot, and start over again, and then we'll bring you back in, see if that clears it up. I don't know. And, of course, I don't know if you heard that or not, but we'll see what happens. Bubba, if you see the link, looks like you got it. So if you see the link there, bud, just click on it and come on down. We'll bring you into the show. Cindy, love to have you on the show. Click on the link. We'd love to get you in there. Stephanie, you were at.
I'll speak for Stephanie. Stephanie,
okay.
What about your trip to Utah and your photo shoots and whatnot? Those were pretty good.
That was crazy as well. I mean, I was one thing after another. April of this year, cover trucker Eric Gibbons. I did their company calendar. So I went out to shoot their trucks for their 2023 calendar to design it. But they forcibly made me go to their cabin with them in Wyoming, which was really, really nice. And I appreciate that. And then after that, it was took a trip up to Idaho to shoot a truck, went down to southern Utah to shoot the December cover truck, and then went to the Utah show, and I think I came home. I don't remember.
At some point.
At some point I came home.
No.
Stephanie, you've been busy all year, and I hope you're getting some time to just kind of kick back and get recharged, so you can you can roll into 23. You're ready to go. Well, take a moment, as they say, and smell the roses. So,
have time off.
A lot of things, of course, in 22 that we want to get to and want to talk about. Never an easy thing, never something we want to talk about, but certainly, this goes to a couple of different topics that we're going to talk about. You know, shows coming up. We're going to get into those. Of course, we're going to talk TFK. We're going to talk Mats. There's other shows that we always are curious how they're going to work out, what's going to happen with them. You know, it goes without saying. You acknowledge what you see out there. Some people, they'll jump in and do stuff, you know, for all the right reasons, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work out. So those of you that know about the show in Calusa, Reading, Frenchies, won't be happening in 2023. That would have been following our show this year, the way it was set up to go, but not going to be happening. So wish Eric well on his endeavors, whatever he jumps into. And Mr. Bubba Branch, what's going on, buddy?
Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey.
Here.
We have to cheer every time somebody comes in.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers. There it is, man.
How are you guys doing?
All right. So we'll talk more about the shows and what's coming up and the good parts of things. Other things too, we don't know. We don't have an event calendar yet, so we're working on getting all the show stuff. If you have a show and you want to get it published with 10-4 magazine in our event calendar, get it over to Dan, send it in, and we'll get that as part of the listings of the events that are going on. We also want to talk about some people that we lost this year. Most recently, and Dan, if you want to chime in, you knew Jim a lot better than I ever did, and we can talk about Jim, and I'll bring some photos up while we're doing that.
Yeah, just this a couple of weeks ago, a guy by the name of Jim Rowe out of Twin Falls, Idaho. He was instrumental in us helping get our Pacific Northwest distribution started in the Idaho area years and years ago, and just a good guy that we would see at the shows over the years.
I'm gonna mute the microphone. There you go. That was Bubba. I've got him muted. Bubba, got you muted right now, buddy. There's Jim right there. I got the photos up.
Jim always wore his overalls, mostly black and white, and his little conductor kind of old chauffeur hat. And he was a bit of a crotchety old man at times, but he was a lot of fun too, and we had a lot of good times with him. But he recently passed here a few weeks ago, and so yeah.
We got to see him.
We just got to see him at the Dixon show. He came, and we got to have a nice conversation with him. So when this cover was shot for April 2003, Stan Holtzman shot it, and Stan Holtzman spent a month with Jim in this truck driving around. He said they'd go half hour, 45 minutes down a dirt road out in the middle of nowhere to a ranch and find a gate and load up. And so he was with him for a whole month. And it wasn't a story about Jim, but Jim was kind of the star that helped him move around and make sure he got the story. It was actually about Roscoe Wagner and the guy who owned these trucks. He was a character. But anyway, so Jim was fun to see at the shows. He'll be missed.
It's all the friends and people you meet along the way are really what make this such a special thing, that it kind of separates itself from, I guess, a lot of other work and careers and things that are out there. I mean, we all make special connections and we all meet a lot of people, but having people come into the 10-4 fold, especially ending up on the cover and being a cover trucker and your story told, you're forever part of the family. So condolences to Jim's family, and we hope that there was some solace available to them through the holidays.
And his wife Diana is she's here in the comments. She's chimed in. Hi, Diana.
Hi, Diana. Oh yeah, I see her there.
And it's Rao is in cow, so I guess I've been getting it wrong all these years. Sorry.
Yep, there's it is. It's Rao, huh?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. So we learned something new. And Diana, thanks for dropping in. Glad you're a part of the show today. We also have somebody else, one of our longtime affiliates, Team 10-4 marketing partners, and you knew Junior better than I did, Dan. So why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about Junior and who he was?
Well, that's Javier, known as Junior, from Aranda, Javier Aranda. So he was kind of the driving force between Aranda Truck Accessories, ATA, and he had a motorcycle accident back in September that took his, and he was about, I think, 42 years old, pretty sad. So we're definitely thinking about his family as well as they keep the business going and redirect everything and get caught up and get things underfoot like you need to. And I think they're going to be good, though.
He will be missed. He is a young man. I think the big one that coming up that we all, and I added a couple of photos, Dan. I just want to take a second and say I muted a couple of microphones that got rid of the back talk that we were experiencing on our end. So Eric and Dennis, when you guys want to talk, unmute yourselves. I think you can do that on your end. And for the time being, though, with the talk back is gone. So next up, Troy Huddleston. And, I think every one of us could probably tell a Troy story. I want to bring somebody else in that's hanging around, lingering in the background. We'll get to you guys in a minute, but it looks like we got John and Kim Jakes there hanging around. Welcome to the show, you guys. Oh, yeah, everybody's got to at least give you a cheers and welcome you in. So,
hey. Hello, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Another young man, unfortunately, bad heart, and I can relate to that, but left us way too soon. My own experience with Troy was just what a warm guy, fun, and welcoming to everyone. So I open it up to whoever would like to tell a Troy story real quick if you got one.
Mine is just the same. Every time I'd see him at shows, he was one of the people I could count on. If I knew he was going to be at the same show as me, I knew I had a friend there. I wasn't alone, and he made sure that I wasn't alone.
He was a positive person. Never talked negative about anything. I don't even think he knew what the word negative meant.
Yeah, fun guy, always willing to jump in and help with the silly stuff too. And this picture can show you.
Oh, G-Bats, when he do them costumes. Oh my God, I have some pictures of that years ago.
I remember him and Gary Jones going, "Yeehaw!" trying to do that.
Standing there in the Roadworks, next to the Roadworks truck, of course, which he manned the wheel of for a few years and got that all around the country for Roadworks. And what a dream job to have, yourself be a part of. I think they picked the right guy. Dan, it looks like you had something you wanted to add. Did you?
Not anything more than everyone else.
Okay.
Just, I remember the G-Bats costumes that Brian always got him. They were always pretty hilarious. I pretty much have a picture every year of him in a silly costume.
Yeah, I agree.
He was definitely a family man.
Hey, John, earlier. I didn't make as many.
Somebody there?
Eric's trying to. Eric, time out, but we're not hearing you.
You're not hearing me?
Oh,
there you go. Now we are.
Okay. Better? Okay. Earlier you had asked Stephanie about her favorite show, and mine ended up being the large cars and guitars out in Tennessee. It was early in the show season, and it was the last time I saw Troy face to face, and he and I had a lot of time to talk that weekend, and it was just a very memorable weekend for me, and the time that I got to spend with him. He was always very friendly to me. Whenever we would greet each other, he would always call me brother. I would always call him brother. And that meant a lot to me. And, I met Troy originally at photo you had up there of his Freightliner. That's when I met him, when he had the Freightliner at the show. And all my interactions with Troy were just positive, upbeat. The thing I admired most about him is when he was talking to you, he was focused on you, and that is a unique trait. But that was my favorite memory of him this year.
Yeah, I have quite a few with Troy as well. Looking at those pictures, it's kind of a hard thing to look back on. Just miss him a lot. I've had a few things in the last few months that that occurred that he would have been very proud and actually had a hand in helping me, whether it be ideas or things to do with the trucks or just even just Troy was a friend to everybody. I honestly don't know anybody that couldn't say that about him. And you guys, every one of you are correct when you said that he didn't. I don't ever think I ever heard him say a bad word about anybody. Even if he had an issue, he just wasn't that guy. And he was a family man. John, you're right. He loved his family. You could see it light up anytime he talked about Miss Huddleston and his girls. They were his life. And he is very missed. He is truly missed. We all lost a good friend that day. And so I have so many stories I could bore you guys for hours. But I won't do that. But it was he was a true friend to all of us. And the industry lost a very good person whenever he left us.
Yeah, I will echo that and say, well said, well put. Definitely, somebody that I've heard very commonly referred to as he made me feel included, and
Yes,
and always, like Stephanie said, I knew I had a friend there. Steph, by the way, you got a lot of friends there, so
yes,
don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that ever. But yeah, it's nice.
I don't ever wear my hair down. That shows. I got work to do. I got my poker face on.
Hey, I want to take a minute before we kind of go into the next segment. I want to introduce one of the newest members of Team 10-4, and I'm gonna mute you, Bubba, again, and that way I get the echo out. Sorry, bro, but I'm gonna bring Miss Julia into the stream.
Hey. Oh.
Hey, Julia.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Hi, Julia. Ready for In and Out?
Yes.
Are you in a closet, Julia? What are you doing?
I am actually in my car. I haven't made it home yet.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Miss Julia was just at the chiropractor and getting adjusted so that her body would move correctly again, or at least try to start doing that again. And she's had a rough go of it here over the holidays, threw her back out. It's one of those ones where we don't even know what she did to have it happen. It just did. So, but as you guys heard me say, and not that Miss Julia hasn't been a part of Team 10-4 along the way and helping out in many different ways, but officially is, in fact, I'm going to break a little news here. I don't have a hard copy, but we will see it when I go to the digital copy in the January 10-4 of who 10-4 magazine is. Miss Julia Hull is listed in there as a member of Team 10-4. So
Nice.
Julia will be handling print sales, digital sales, getting you guys in the magazine and live on air and doing the things that we do to brand your business, to share your business and get it out there and get it advertised and make it happen. So newest member in the group to take that on and wish her all the best. And I know she's going to do well at it. So welcome aboard.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Excited to have you.
Yep.
Nice to have you.
John, what are you doing down there, fool?
My arm was getting sore.
Oh,
You're holding your phone with your foot. What are you doing?
What did you just? No, never mind. I'm going to mute him.
You would have to notice that, Dan.
I am okay. John Jakes has been muted. All right. Holy crap. Bubba, what do you say, buddy? Look at Bubba. He's all red.
He's trying to hold in the laughter.
He's trying to
my
match
God.
his truck.
Oh my gosh, man. Look at that. Boy, that was
I saw Crystal Lynn floating around there. Make sure she pops in and says hi too.
She's right here. She's right.
Yep. There you are.
Do we have to cheers for that too?
Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, why not?
This is like a drinking game. For us, maybe not you.
But
It's actually a
good.
really good idea.
All right. Let's back up to 2022 and let's talk about some things. Obviously, first year of Trucking for Kids with 10-4 taking the helm, and I'm not just because I'm part of the team, but I'm going to say I think we did a fantastic job. Not that there's not room for improvement, but I think we did a fantastic job with what we had to work with, and this year, guys, we're back and bigger than ever, and it's going to be 2 days. But let's talk about 22. Dan, what how did that go for you, and what do you want to share with everybody about it? I mean, there's a great photo here to share with everybody. That was the the finality of that show, but we'll get to that.
I don't remember a lot of that day. It was much of a blur. People say, "Do you remember talking to me? Do you remember seeing me? I saw you." I don't remember nothing.
And it was hot.
People would say, "Where's Dan?" And I'd say, that was the flash that just went by. he went that way. Yeah.
I think I took more phone calls on my phone that day than ever in history of having a cell phone. I don't think I wasn't on it at any moment of the day. And it was always somebody different with some new issue. But
of course.
But it was, you know what? Hey, we lived. We had we were, like you said, we were dealt a bit of a rough hand with a 1 day, and we had some other challenges, and it was our first year. We didn't, going to a show and having a show, completely different animals.
Definitely.
And so, we had experience from the other side for 25, 30 years, but having it was a new experience. And I think that we collectively we had great volunteers and great helpers. I think we pulled it off. Of course, there's lots of things that could be better. And we look forward to 2023 being much better, and every year hopefully getting better. But overall, we made it through, and we had a good, profitable show. We were able to donate a bunch of money. That really was what it's all about. So there you go. So we were able to give Shriners $40,000, and that was almost the mark I wanted to hit. And everybody said I was crazy for the mark I wanted to hit, but
it wasn't too far.
We almost made it. So hoping to double that next year. And I think with 2 days and all the different things that we can have, and I think that we can do it. So there you go. Save the dates.
Save the dates, April 20th and 30th, 2023, for a beautiful weekend down in SoCal at Irwindale, California, at the Irwindale Speedway. And I think the racing this year is going to be bigger and better than it ever was. There were so many people that wanted to jump in and help and make it that way this coming year. All the guys that were there last year, and I honestly, I think we're going to double how many trucks are going to be there. We've got some really excited people about the drag racing aspect of it and putting it into brackets this year. So for you guys out there that are watching now and will be watching this, the races will be straightened out. We'll be in brackets. It won't be just heads up like we did last time. But you know what? For what we did, it sure did come out really good. I think the racing was probably as competitive as it could be, and a lot of fun. So thank you guys for all showing up and being a part of it.
Yeah.
And there was even a fire show. So,
Yes, there was. Our buddy Mario from Canada decided to break a fuel line and try to light his truck on fire. And it was unfortunate for many, many reasons. The main reason, thankfully, nobody got hurt, number one. But the main thing is that we didn't get to see that truck run. And I've been talking to Mario, and believe it or not, there's more ponies coming out of that horse when it comes down here. So we're going to be seeing it. We're going to be seeing it at a new level. And I'm really curious to see what that truck can do, because we didn't get to see it perform. So excited about 23 and what we're doing. Let's talk about Saturday now that we have a Saturday to talk about on the show. I mean, we're back to having a barbecue. Yes, we're going to do the fundraiser like we usually do, or what are we doing, Dan?
That is the plan. We will have our 10-4 sponsored charity barbecue, feed everybody on Saturday night, and raise a little bit more money for that. And obviously a light show, which is always one of the highlights of this event throughout the years. So we get that back, and that's a big deal. We're talking about lots of other stuff, that we're going to be having a meeting here in about a week and a half, and we'll iron all those details out. But going to add a lot more stuff to do, and Saturday will be a fun part of the day of the weekend for sure.
Excellent. So anybody that has any concerns about a one-day show, if you want a one-day show, this ain't it. This is 2 days. So
I will say this flyer it says register online now. You cannot register quite yet. This is coming out in the magazine tomorrow, and it's probably going to be about a week until we get that actually fired up and going. But hopefully people will jump on it quick. So,
and as soon as it does, I would encourage everybody register if you're coming in to race, if you're coming in to show, whatever you're going to do. Let's get that going. We're talking only a few months away, and for us, this is going to be an extremely busy first part of the year. We got the biggest truck show, one of the biggest truck shows in 2023, happening first, and that's going to be Matt's. And we'll go ahead and let's talk about it. It's happening again. We're going to be there. 10-4, bigger, better than ever. Dan, what's happening with Matt's Mid America Truck Show and the Paul K. Young Truck Beauty Contest?
I mean, far as I know, it's going to be they have unlimited space outside. So I don't think that they're going to be limiting the trucks like they have in the past. So there'll probably be more trucks out there than ever.
Stephanie's like, no.
Sorry, Steph. Yeah. It's going to be a record year. And
Stephanie, you should start driving now. Hey, let's take a minute here. I'm going to bring Miss Flatbed Red in. Red, you're muted right now. Oh shoot, we're limited to 10 people, so we'll keep you there just for now, and we'll rotate around. We'll get you in. Okay, hang on. Go ahead, Dan.
I was just going to say, Matt's is a pretty good indicator of how the year's going to go in trucking, and so I think we're all kind of anxiously awaiting to see how it is. If it's an amazing show, if it's a good show, if it's a bad show. Throughout the years, it kind of dictates. It's a good precursor to how the rest of the year might go. We've had a few rough matches that were rough years, but for the most part, they've been good. So hopefully everybody shows up, has a good time, and we have a great show and a great year.
Peaks and valleys, and of course, there's always the talk chatter of, who's at the show. And of course, bigger than that, even sometimes, is who's not at the show. So we're hoping for the best outcome, and would really like to see this become a consistent, every year, everybody shows up show. And I know budgeting wise, people are allocating what they have to make it happen for various reasons so they can spread it around. But I think this is one of those shows you kind of have to be at. And I did, lead into this saying one of the biggest shows this year. I have to say we're going to be at it, as well as I think the other biggest show in the year, besides Trucking for Kids, of course, is GBATS. So I wanted to give a shout out to our good friends out there in Joplin, Missouri, Brian and the Chrome Shop Mafia, and what they have in store for us this September coming up. And Team 10-4 will be there for that as well. So look forward to making that happen. That's one of the funnest shows out there too. And I think when we get to a point of wrapping up, I'd like to say a few things about a couple of shows I thought that were standouts this year that were really fun. Bubba, you're a competitor, Betty. So tell us, man, what's happening with you?
Oh man, we are doing some revamping on the old girl of mine. She's up in Corbin, Kentucky right now. We got some things we're going to be debuting at Matt's, which I'm excited about. So we're doing some inside work and of course some tail end work. So can't give it all away, but I'm looking forward to showing everybody and documenting along the way. I'll be going up there to Corbin here in a couple of weeks and staying up there with them guys for a few weeks and tearing it down and getting her ready to go. So we're looking forward to showing it off at Matt's. Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing it.
Yes, sir.
Bubba, I appreciate you showing up today
Yes,
for
sir.
us. I'm going to bring Miss Flatbed Red in, and we're going to say goodbye to you for now, and look forward to seeing you after the beginning of the year. Happy New Year to you and your family.
Happy New Year,
Happy New Year, Bubba.
Thank
Happy
you
New
all very
Year.
much.
Merry Christmas, Bubba. We'll see
Merry
you soon.
Christmas. I love you all. Have a good evening.
Hey, that's a
Thank you.
sentiment from all of us back to you, buddy. Love you.
Thank you.
Miss Flatbed Red, are you there? There she is.
Hey.
I am.
Welcome.
Hello.
Cheers.
Oh,
Hello.
Hello.
excuses.
Cheers. I left my beer downstairs at the bar. I'm actually sitting in my local pub right now.
Oh, nice.
But
You
I
should
saw
go
everybody
you should go get your beer.
Oh, maybe I will. Yeah, I've come upstairs. I'm surrounded by like a whole bunch of chairs on tables because all the party's downstairs. Like, I can't miss this. So here I am.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome
Hi,
to
everybody.
the show. So
It's very exciting.
introduce yourself and tell us, well, you kind of did where you're at, but tell us who you are, where you're at tonight.
Well, I'm Miss Flatbed Red, and I am currently I'm in Findlay, Ohio. I don't live at this pub, but I live in Findlay. And it was a late day, so I've just finally come to get my dinner. But you guys are taking priority. It's sitting downstairs, and I'm here instead. So I wanted to say hello.
I'd like to say thanks for coming in and being a part of the show tonight.
Of
We
course.
ran into Miss Flatbed Red at the Reno ATHS show, and it was the first time for me that I think I met her and saw her and kind of got a feel for what she was doing. And as she was sitting there trying to draw trucks, I tried to talk to her. She had laryngitis, so she couldn't talk.
I had to hold up a sign that said I've lost my voice, and he had his whole camera crew with him. Like, but that was
it's
that
okay.
was
We
a lot
all
of years
understood
ago.
sign language, and we got it. We got it. No,
Yeah.
it was fun. And after seeing her work, I made a suggestion to Dan, our editor. I said, "Hey, I think we got something here. I think this will be a good fit for 10-4." And sure enough, she's been along pretty much ever since. So congratulations and welcome aboard and being part of Team 10-4.
Thank you, and in fabulous timing. My first contribution, or my first article, I guess, or something, was March 2020, I believe. So.
Ah.
Are you going to be in Reno again this year?
I will, and I won't be sick.
Well, we will see you there for sure.
Definitely. And
Miss
see you at
Jean,
Matt's.
Miss Jean, we're looking at you sideways, hon. You're going to have to turn your phone, or if you like looking at us that way, that's okay too. Everybody look to yeah. Everybody tilt their head. Or is it this way? No, it's this way for me. All right.
Wait, it's like this.
Oh, fun stuff.
We should probably do something with John and Kim because they look like they're about to fall asleep over there.
I know.
Oh no,
No, we're fine.
we wide awake.
We're
down here.
good.
We're down here in Florida enjoying the warmer weather now.
Yes.
Nice.
How
Went to
warm
the
is
beach
warmer?
today. It's awesome.
How warm is it?
It got up to 78 today.
Jeez.
Wow.
It'll be 84 by Saturday.
Well,
It's
that's a little warm.
59 now.
Yep, it's
That's
60 now.
too hot. That's just
That's
too
too
hot.
hot.
It's wonderful for December.
Probably humid too.
No,
I like it 30 degrees. Okay, I like it 30 degrees.
Keep it. Enjoy. We are soaking up the sun and the warm.
All right.
John, you got to go to Montana then.
Yeah.
No, I'm right here at home, buddy. So actually, we got the Pineapple Express coming through the Pacific Northwest, and it started on Monday. The drive up from Modesto back up to Grants Pass was record rainfall and winds, 80-mile-an-hour winds, and it was raining an inch of rain an hour.
Wow.
And that started from Redding all the way up to where I parked my car. It was nonstop. Literally thought there was something wrong with my car because it was getting so wobbly and moving all over the road. But I had no idea it was that windy because it was dark out, and I couldn't see anything except for headlights. Every now and then the mist would blow across, and I could see that the wind was swirling, and it was bad. Yeah, it was crazy. Worst driving conditions I've ever experienced. So much water on the road that the rooster tails coming off everybody's tires as you go by would literally just cover your car, and the trucks going on the other side, going southbound, water coming over the K rails and on top of us. It was pretty intense. So it would have been good weather for a submarine out on the highway, I think, at that point.
Our daughter in Bozeman had minus 30 actual temperature, minus 45 wind chill. It was so cold their car wouldn't start. I know that Eric, who just left us, he's talking about some of the they're near each other, sort of. Yeah, it was 0 when I was talking to him the other day. Crazy.
It was a record cold Christmas down here in Florida. It got down to like 30, 29 at night for I think 3 nights. It was the coldest Christmas in 30 years here.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear it. You don't just get 80-degree weathers every day, you know?
But it was 50 degrees warmer.
I'm ready for spring. We're done with Christmas.
Hey, man, slow your roll, man. Well, let's go through the winter, get it done.
We're going right to summer.
Going right to summer. So, hey, if that's the case, so you're calling, what are you calling Matt's? Is it going to be summer at Matt's? Is that what you're saying?
Well, how many times have we seen snow there?
It is a week later this year.
We'll probably get all the seasons. We might, I hope we don't get snow, but I'll say we'll get snow, and then maybe it's reverse psychology. Yeah. And then it'll rain inevitably. Everybody knows that. And we might get a 70-degree day too.
Yeah.
You just never know.
When you said how many days has it snowed? Too many. One is too many.
Of the 6 years that I competed there, we had snow virtually all but 1 year.
Wow.
And we went down there in a blizzard twice.
Well, that's what happens when you have to go to the Midwest in March, right?
Well, you spend 2 months prepping the equipment and rebuilding it, and then in 36 hours, you totally trash it. Start all over again.
Exactly. Hey, something I wanted to bring up that we were talking about, Dan and I were talking about this, and I've got this ready for us to all look at. Cover trucks. We never really talk about, was there a standout truck on the cover of 10-4 magazine in the past year? I look at all these, and we've got all of them here, all 12 of them.
Tanker Dave.
Boy, that was quick.
Tanker Dave.
That was quick. Why is that?
Why I competed with that truck back in the 90s, and that it still looks like it does. And that tile floor has been in there since the 90s. And there's 2 tiles that have a little crack in them. That truck.
I don't know. I don't see one bad one in the mix there.
No, there's not a bad one in the mix anywhere. Let me see if there's Gene.
I would hope not.
Yeah, there's not.
No, that's not a bad one, but you said standout. That's standout to me.
Standout. Yeah. Where's the standout? Where for you as an individual, and if anybody wants to, Kim's already given us Tanker Dave. So anybody else in there? Was there something that was a standout for you?
I'm all about the cattle pots and those swoosh stripes, so I think you know which month I like. Although I do like a Freightliner cab over pretty well.
Yeah, right there, I bet you. I have to say, I do like that cab over. It is definitely one of my favorites of the year.
I was pretty excited to see that one on the cover. I talked to him in Iowa, and he did a video for me, and so I'm just really glad that a young guy who's so down to earth, who has an old truck, got some cover bling.
Yeah. Oh, no kidding. Dylan is one of the most down-to-earth together kids I've ever talked to at that age. I wished I'd have been half as together as him when I was his age, man. I was a mess. So congratulations to him, and look what he's doing. He's doing just fine. We started the year off, pretty big. I mean, for some reason, I'm not allowed to, it won't give me it. Let me refresh. Give me a second here.
One of the things I was most impressed with Dylan, interviewing him, was when he told me that because he goes out in no man's land, he carries everything with him that he can fix the truck.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
It was like everything, and he did mechanicking too, so that was pretty cool.
Those days are interesting. I had those days myself, and not in my Peterbilt, but my old Mack truck that I had. It came with the toolbox. This is a great story. That I bought that truck from this old trucker down in Southern California, and it came loaded with a toolbox that had a whole bunch of a big, like a baker's tray full of nuts, bolts, fittings. I mean, you name it. It was the mismatch of everything possible that you might need. And typically, I tell you what, if anything ever went wrong, I could go to that thing and I could find something in there to get through the day or fix what I needed, And as the story goes, of course, the Mack Superliner, it stayed in the fleet, but I got a new Pete and no more toolbox. That was into that. But, you do what you got to do. And I've looked over here. Don Wood was, the first truck of the year to make the cover, and beautiful truck that it is. Nothing wrong with that at all. I certainly can say, our Johnny Cash truck and Charles Hale and his son, the job they did on that truck and how great it looked. Another standout for me. I'm gonna just for mine, and here's something, I got to go here, and this just exudes old school trucking, and it brought everything together for 10-4. I think it was the last shoot Eric did. It was in the can. What, Dan? I mean, Dan, tell the story. You wrote it. Please jump in here. I just appreciate what you did with it.
Well, it wasn't his last shoot because it was done 10 years before we actually ran.
Yeah, right.
He did it at the first G-Bats, the only one he went to by himself, and did this photo shoot. And for whatever reason, it just never came out of the can. It just it didn't get used, which I don't know why, because I always loved the truck and I always had it sort of off to the side. And I thought, I'm going to run it on the anniversary of his death this year and kind of pull it out. It was 10 years later and 3 years after his death. And I thought, it's kind of a cool thing. And so it was kind of neat it's an old truck, and the guy who owns it has a lot of old trucks, and guy who shot us no longer around. So it just kind of became a interesting story and it was a good month too. So
this guy's got a truck museum. I mean, who the heck does that? He got his own truck museum. So good for him. Jean's back. We'll click her in. I just, and I like these old trucks, they, the GMCs, the Fords, the Dodge Bighorns, all those trucks, even the Mack trucks too. They had a different thing about them. They weren't a Peterbilt. They weren't a Kenworth. They weren't like any of the other big trucks on the road. And for that reason, a lot of people didn't like them. I'm not going to lie. But then, now they've kind of come into this thing like, God, those are so cool. I mean, Flatbed Red ought to attest to this, right? I mean, how many people, make their career off old trucks? Well, she does. So,
and new ones.
And Dave's just down the road, so I can go check it out. It's been a while since I was there. I almost went a week ago, but it's high time I go check out his collection again.
Oh, I don't
believe this one's in his museum. I think it's still at Walcott.
Right, but yes,
right,
plenty more to see.
Yes.
But I think that it's sort of it's a romance thing, Look, if you've ever driven a cab over, if you know that saying, it applies. Okay, cab overs are not the preferred method of rolling down the road. They just aren't. Dennis, am I lying? Frank?
No, I was going to chime in here. The story they don't tell about that era and that style of truck, back here on the East Coast in the Midwest, we did not see that many of the trucks you're familiar with west. more likely to see that GMC or an International 4700, maybe a Bighorn. They were relatively common, and a lot of us guys cut our teeth on those. And in the old cab overs, you know, they were hot in the summer, cold in the winter, noisy year around. But today they're cool by kids that never rode in them. And we've been able to modify them. And remember, most of those trucks, they didn't come from the factory with air rides. A lot of them didn't even have air conditioning till the mid 90s.
Right. Twice by 55. Yeah. No.
Yeah. So, and if you had a NTC 350, if you had a 400, you were one of the big time.
Oh, you're a big dog.
Really doing something.
Yeah, you're a big dog back then. This thing is running a Detroit here. I mean, you know, this is
Silver 92.
Silver 92. I mean, yeah, the old school stuff. Let me tell you, man, you earned your money. You earned your money working these trucks because these trucks worked you.
They tell us that to drive that Detroit, you had to slam your hand in the door so you were mad enough to shift it.
True story.
Oh yeah.
That's so funny. I know that well. Believe me, my Superliner had a 92 in it, and boy, I'll tell you, that truck never left me anywhere high and dry, though. I got to say, until I got a driver in it that blew it up. But it sure looks familiar here, looking at these pictures of that truck.
Mine's 42 years old and going strong.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you know.
So, what was your favorite truck? Red?
I just thought it was really cool every time a magazine would show up and it had a truck on the cover that's one of the interviews on my YouTube channel. And there were, I think, 3 of them this year. So the first 2, Don, Charles, and Dylan there. I think I'm looking on my phone, so the pictures are tiny. But it was at least those 3. And it's just, I think the person who said it best to me this year, just a week ago, is I got my CDL in October, I think. And the friend of mine who is teaching me over the course of the year, I got it right before you had to go to your trucking school. So his son is 9, and they came into my house to pick up a drawing I did for them a couple weeks ago. And the son's like, "This is so weird. We knew who she was, and now we're at her house." And the dad is like, You're new to this trucking world, and you know all the people that I know about, that I've heard about. So it's just crazy how much has changed in 5 years for me. And he's been in this field his whole life, and it's only 5 years, and everything's happening so quickly. But the fact that I recognize these trucks, I see them at shows, they're all cool to me, because I like anything you get to see in person, and then you see it getting its glory in print. Excellent. So,
well, we've talked about. Dan, did you have something you wanted to add?
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm with Red. I don't think there is one standout. I think there's something about each of them that you want to pick and choose and make that morphodite with the best of everything.
Yeah.
And put them all together. And oftentimes, for me, it's the story that's told about the truck. It's not the truck. It's those people that make that truck what it is to those of us that see it.
Yep.
I agree that the stories that 10-4 tells are the stories of people and their trucks and their livelihood and what they do and how it works for them. And listen, every story, every truck's got a story, and every trucker will tell it. I mean, there's so many out there. It's a heck of an industry that we support and are a part of, and are fortunate enough to make our livings, being involved in it. Dan and Shan and Gene have been at it here for, going on 30 years. And that kind of brings us to our next part of the segment. We're running a little bit long, but
and I wanted to add in 2 cents is like what they said about, it's not the truck, it's the driver. That's what Eric Stephen was all about. He was all about, you can have a cool truck, but it's the quality of the person operating it.
Yep. Agreed.
That's the catchphrase the ATHS has been using a lot recently is come for the truck, stay for the people. I think that's across the board in truck shows.
Right.
All right.
Hello, Tony Hilton.
Tony Hilton in the house. Good to have you. Wardlow Trucking. Good to have you on
September
there as well.
2017 cover trucker.
Uh-huh.
Are you biased?
He's my friend.
Let's see where got lost there. Where were we? We were talking about
Next segment you wanted to move on to.
Yeah. Now I can't remember what that was. See what you did to me, Stephanie? You derailed me.
Well, you were busy talking, so I had to try to cut in. Otherwise, I'd be raising my hand.
30 years.
30. Thank you. 30-year anniversary. So
30, baby.
30-year anniversary of 10-4. And pretty excited to say that most of us have been here for the 25th, the 20th, now the 30th. Here we are. So what do we have? What are we thinking we're going to be doing? We've got some things we might be making happen at Matt's, or are we just waiting until September and seeing what happens? What are we doing?
We're beginning talks about what we're going to do. We have a few months to get ready, as in September is will be the start of our 30th year, which I can't believe because I'm only 29 years old.
I know, right?
I mean, you know.
Yeah, how did you do that? How do you do that?
It's like
Magic.
I don't know.
It's getting deep in here.
It's
So,
magic.
yeah, you know.
It's the
No, I think
journalist
we're
in
gonna
them.
we've done some fun stuff in the 20th and some fun stuff in the 25th. So we'll try to find some more different fun stuff to do. And we've already got some ideas in the works. And I think it's good. I can't believe that we're going to be 30 years. I can't believe it. Every day I wake up and think, is this the last day? And here we are. We've been doing that all since the beginning. I'm not going to lie. I remember when we started, I said, I was going home to work, and I said, if I get 2 years out of this, that'll be great. And that was
20 years ago.
25 years,
Yeah,
25
years.
25 years ago. So here we are.
And when
So
that comes around, I'll be 20 years.
Yeah,
Yep.
right.
Thank you, Suzanne Stempensky.
Yep.
So what'll be
Mhm.
what'll be kind of cool this year for the the 30th anniversary? There's actually a lot of shows where a lot of us are all going to be there.
Yeah.
Red, you'll be out in Reno. Dan and Shannon will. I will. John will. Maybe Eric will come out for that. I mean, there's so it's going to be cool this year because we'll be able to actually like celebrate with people.
How
Shannon,
about you, Gene? You coming out?
Heck yeah, she is.
That's up in the air.
You can bring Chica.
we're going into a dangerous zone, Reno, Nevada. I think we need HR there to keep us on point.
Or maybe not. Dictionary on the RH.
Shannon, how about you? I mean, you've been there by Dan's side all these years in life, but I mean, Dan comes home and he goes, I met this crazy guy, Eric Sieben, and
I don't think those were the words I used, but okay.
oh, okay. Well, yeah.
It's okay.
And I'm going to kind of see how this goes. Is it cool? You want to try and work this thing along with me? And I mean, how did that all unfold for you? I've never heard of that, so give me a little bit.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe you put me on the spot.
Wait, let me refill you.
Well, I mean, at the time I was working full time. We didn't have children, and so I mean, he was doing his thing and I was working, and Eric was a little crazy, and yeah.
You're amongst friends. You don't need to hold back.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said we're amongst friends. You don't need to hold back.
And one of my suggestions for the suggestion box is for the people that are watching, we can circle back to that, but have people, if there's shows that maybe we've never been to, none of us have been to, throw out the suggestions. Maybe that can be something we can tie into our travels or something we specifically go to.
And anybody out there, I mean, if you have fun ideas for us to celebrate our 30th, email us, post up in this thread, reach out to us. We're open to ideas from our readers and our fans. So we want to do what you guys want. So
Absolutely. And on that note, we have a lot of things that we've all discussed together and individually with Dan and Shan and talked about our thoughts for the upcoming year of 2023 and what it looks like. And I would like to say that 10-4 again is still in very good hands and is going forward and is going to be bigger and better than ever. Quality and integrity are going to remain in place. The magazine that you love and the digital side of what we do is only going to get refined and better and more accommodating. And that's why we're asking for you guys to give us the ideas and suggestions that you might have, which you're our eyes and ears out there in the world. And that's how 10-4, a lot of these cover trucks, the big question, how do you get on the cover of 10-4 magazine? Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of it's referrals.
An act of God.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Referrals.
Pretty important, Stephanie, but don't go there. I mean, geez, you know.
Damn.
What is it? Cool truck, cool story, and the owner's not a.
More champagne for you.
Hey, name dropper over here. Yeah, there's a lot to it. I got another request for that answer today, and I thought, yeah, there's a lot there, buddy. But excited about 23 and what it's going to look like and what we're doing in it. So, advertising partners, you guys are out there. We would love to hear from you as well. You're a huge part of what we do. So, you as the readers, you guys, the best way to get 10-4 magazine, subscribe. Honestly, the racks are still in place, but distribution costs and the logistics of making that happen, it's tough. It is very tough. So the best way, get that subscription, get it now before the price goes up, because it is going up. 2023, it has to. I mean, diesel is, almost double what it was. And we haven't raised prices in a long time around 10-4. So long time coming, but we love to have you be a part of it. Get your magazine, get in there and get that delivered to you every month. Something special that we're going to do right now that we've never done before. This will be the first time ever. And something that we hold very sacred. Yep. Very, very secretively. And that is who's coming up in the upcoming cover of 10-4 magazine.
I wanted to say hi to a few people here who are scrolling through. By the way, thank you.
Please do.
Hilton. Thank you, Tony Hilton. Very nice words. Wardlaw Trucking. It's Corey, correct? From Reno with the yellow transfer, if I remember right. Tell me if I'm right on that. It's been a while.
Tony Hilton, you'll have to send me the dates on that, and maybe I'll come up for Hotel Hilton.
And Charles, hello. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Where's she going?
She's going to get her beer. She's
there we go.
Hey.
It's noisy down here, but I was getting thirsty, guys.
You're in the main bar now, I see. Hey, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, what's that guy doing wearing a cat hat when you got a Detroit under the hood? What the hell's going on
you
around
can't hear
here?
it? Hold on. You can't hear you. You want the Marmon on the cover of 10-4?
That's funny.
We've never had one. Just saying.
I've never had a Marmon. That's what he just said.
There you go. That is funny. All right. So with that, I wish we had a drum roll, but Dan, did you want to bring?
There you go. Dennis has got it.
Can I launch it? Are we a go? Are we a go?
Houston, we're a go.
Okay.
Not a problem.
January 2023. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. W900 Kenworth Superior Transfer out of Gilroy, California, or San Martin, correct? San Martin, yep. Where Joe Jones is from out there. Good friends, actually, these two guys. So I got to read a little bit of the story when you sent this over. And I'll tell you, I'm impressed, man. There's a lot of details on this truck that are amazing. And when you guys see the story and get the magazine, you'll be able to go along in there and check it all out. Dan, you guys just shot this truck too, 10-4?
About a month ago. What a super nice guy, great family. We had so much fun with Joe. His name's Joe Serrano, and we spent a few days out there in San Martin, and just really enjoyed it. Had a good time. So I was super excited about the centerfold shot. I think it turned out fantastic, and we didn't die. We didn't get run over by a ginormous dump truck because they were there.
Oh my gosh.
Dennis, give me another drum roll. I'm going to go with the centerfold. But there it is.
Wow.
So this shot was taken at the Granite Rock Quarry in Aromas.
We're not allowed to say that, but yes.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops.
It was
Never mind.
a random quarry in Aromas.
A random quarry in Aromas that I used to haul slurry out of. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
And they were just
Way to go, John.
They were
gigantic,
thank you. Dump trucks.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you have a guy in the know on the show. So, Velasquez, Oscar, what's going on, buddy? I love that our drag racers are showing up, man.
Thank you, Oscar.
Oscar, will you be back in April?
Oh yeah,
he will be.
Oh yeah, right there. Can't wait for 2023. All these guys, they're all going to be back. I'm telling you, it's going to be big. TFK 2023. Be there.
Woo.
So this magazine starts hitting the streets tomorrow. So it'll be probably mailed tomorrow, and start getting distribution out tomorrow. So they'll be getting out there.
Good deal. Well, congratulations to the latest member of the 10-4 family. Can't wait to get him on the show and talk about his transfer and the whole truck. I mean, let's face it, that's a beauty. He's got a lot of stuff going on there, and like I said, I read a little bit of the story, and I was pretty impressed with everything he's got going on. I'll throw a little shout out to our friends at the Roll On Customs right there up in front there on the lugs. You see those nice looking custom aluminum billet lug nut covers on there. And
he has a ton of amazing hand engraved billet aluminum parts, including the lug nuts, which Roll On did not do. They're Roll On lug nuts, but he sends them to a place in Arizona that hand engraves them and then chromes them.
Correct.
And, he's got tons of engraved. I mean, it's really, really interesting, really cool stuff.
Wow. Yes, I saw that in there. I was just trying to be nice. You read the story, you'll see all the information of who did what on there. But yeah, they originated from the Roll On Custom folks. So had to start somewhere, and that's where they started at, and then they finished up elsewhere. Great looking rig. Congratulations, Joe, and we'll look forward to talking to you on the show in January. So let's bring that on out of there. I'll bring everybody back. We're pretty much at a wrap, or at a point of a wrap. I don't think I've left anything out. Dan, you have anything else there? Anybody else want to take a turn and add anything into the show? Now's the chance.
I would just thank everybody for being here. Thank everybody for being a part of our family and our team, and looking forward to 2023 and just getting every month. We just got to keep raising the bar. I don't know how we do it, but we got to just keep doing it. So I can't do it alone. Thank you for all you guys and your bright ideas. And, Frank out there taking pictures, and Eric's out there taking pictures and doing stuff, and Stephanie out there doing what she does. And Dennis, everybody loves your article. And I hear so many people say it's my favorite. And
And Red with her sweet pictures.
You guys all just, Kim and John and everybody who contributes, and just thank you, and looking forward to doing a lot more of it in 2023.
Yeah. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
One more time.
One more time. Cheers.
I mean, we haven't even finished the bottle, so don't worry. We're good.
Hey, Dan, I got a question for you.
What's that?
Sir.
Was anything said about Tom? For people we missed this year?
Which Tom?
Medina?
Oh, no, it was not.
Okay.
Feel free.
Well, he was a great artist. He came up with the 25th anniversary.
Yes, he did. He helped with that logo, and yeah, he was a good guy. He was a good guy. That was, another loss that we weren't all quite ready for, I don't think, but
not at all.
There was a lot this year. To be honest, we could have a whole show about that. unfortunately. But yes, Tom was a good guy, and we'll definitely I'll miss our conversations.
We had some late night conversations, that's for sure.
Tom,
truckers late night on the radio, on the phone, never.
Explain who he was, John. I mean, he was an artist. He did like computer generated drawings, and he did T-shirt artwork, and he was a trucker. He drove for, I think he was a driver and a dispatcher.
38 years. 38 years he drove.
Yeah, I think most of his years were at Gardner here in California, and then he ended up a dispatcher. Yeah, he had a lot of stories and whatnot. He was a very interesting guy, had a lot of different talents for sure. So he will be missed as well.
Yes.
Anybody else?
I just want to give a shout out. There's an awful lot of our readers that have reached out to me while I've been on the road after the last year we've been through with my illness. They've been a network that's kept a close eye on me. And to all of them, I'd like to thank them. They didn't need to do that, but they did. That's part of the unseen network that we call family. And a lot of them knew us through the Facebook, the 10-4. They recognized the truck. Really surprising when that happens, but I've been very thankful for it.
Well, we're glad to have you, Dennis. We're glad that you're feeling well and looking well.
Yeah,
pretty soon we won't be able to see your face, and that, not that that's a good thing, but that's a good thing, right?
I seen it last year, scared me. Going back to the old look.
Whoa, who's that?
You need watched. Miss Barb needs help.
Yeah,
we did have some good conversations, right?
We have had some, John.
Yep.
Not fit for mixed company. We've had some great conversations.
Yeah, not on this channel. You're not going to have them. No, it's not going to take place here.
Oh no, not here.
I think we're going to get bleeped.
Anybody else want to chime in before I close her down? Nope, we're all good. All right. Listen, guys, I want to say thanks to everybody for showing up. It's my privilege to host this show every week, and it's a special opportunity that has been afforded to me by Dan and Shan and Gene. I feel a lot of trust in what they've given me to do what I do here. Pretty much had an open ticket to do as I please, as I feel I like to, and share with you what I want. Obviously, a lot of input comes in, and we talk about that. Dan and I do time to time about what we're going to do in the shows. And in the upcoming shows, Dan and I have planned out some things that we're going to do to really step the game up a bit, give you guys something of more, I think, more balance. I'm pretty much flip the switch and let it fly. Dan, very good at programming things and pre-planning, and I think that's what makes us work. And we're going to put that together to make a better, more entertaining and structured show for you in 2023, as well as our live streams that we do across the country on our shows that we're at. So I feel blessed to be in the position that I'm in, not only with 10-4 magazine, but up back in the Pacific Northwest and living where I live now and doing what I do up here. So without all of you and everybody that watches and participates and reads the magazine, we wouldn't have jobs. So God bless you all for being there, and thank you for being here for us along the ride and along the way over this last 30 years. It's been amazing for me, only being a part of it for some 20 as a reader, enthusiast, cover trucker, and now part of the team as a team 10-4 member. So I'd like to say God bless all of you, and may your year end well, and your new one begin even better, and nothing but good things come towards you. And on behalf of all of 10-4, to everybody in the audience, thank you very much. We appreciate it from our hearts and our souls. We thank you so much for being there for us and allowing us to do what we do for you.
And Happy New Year early.
Happy New Year.
All right.
Happy New Year.
Hurry back.
We will see all of you on the other side on 2023. Until then, have fun, stay safe, keep the shiny side up. This is John for Studio 10-4 Live, and everybody in the mix today: Eric, Stephanie, Dan, Shan, Dan, Frank, Flatbed Red, Miss Jean, John,
Mr.
Tim,
Jack.
and Julia and Dennis. Did I get everybody?
I think so.
And
Eric?
Bubba we had in there.
Yeah, we had Bubba for showing up. Miss Julia, Eric, if you don't smile, I'm gonna. There you go.
That'll cost you for that.
Hey, John, I'm just being entertained by the audience there.
All right. And
Just
everybody,
touch that Mustang.
everybody, one more time.
Yeah,
for Gene.
it's going to be a few months before I see that.
Everybody for Gene. Everybody. Bye, Gene.
Bye, Jean.
Love you, Gene.
I don't know how she can't see her. She's sideways.
Hey, keep up.
It's all good.
There we go.
There you go.
We love you, Gene, so much.
Yes.
We love you.
All right,
HR.
everybody, have a good
HR.
night.
All right, everybody.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Happy
Happy
New
New
Year.
Year.
Happy New Year.
Bye.